Got some engine parts down there embedded in it. Yeah. So that big limb broke out of this tree. This tree is actually no good. It really needs to be taken down. It whacked the house. Didn't really hurt the house, but it tore the utilities off of it. So there's the power, phone lines, cable, and fiber are all out. This happened a week ago on Friday night here in Columbus. This is in East Columbus. That's where this is. Actually has some pretty good winds over here in this area that hit it. So they've got me gonna clean it up. I'm just gonna clean this, what they've got here on the ground. I'm just gonna clean it up, throw it in a dump trailer, and get it out of here. That's all I'm gonna do. They had a monster tree over yonder. You can look at the root ball sticking up over the building. It took all the power lines out over there, all of them. So they want to get this tree down. See, it's all over the neighbor's house. Dead limbs on top of the neighbor's house. Got some engine parts down there embedded in it. So yeah, I'm gonna clean it. Let's get it cleaned up, get it done. I do have my rake with me, my big giant rake. It's sitting right there behind the gooseneck. See it right there. We're 3 minutes into the video now, and I'm going to do a voiceover and just kind of talk for a little bit. So you can see what I'm dealing with here. They had already done all the cutting up, got the tree off the house, and the deal was, like I said at the beginning of the video, me just to clean it up. Can you imagine what it would have taken to clean this up by hand or any other way, you know, other than the way that I'm doing it, and get it all cleaned up? How long it would have taken you? I did this job in under an hour. It was like 40 minutes is all. But the problem would have been is when you got done picking this stuff up, you see all them leaves coming off that stuff. They're hitting the ground. Watching a little bit, when I get the big rake out, what happens when I roll through it with that. So I take all the small stuff and wad it up the best I can and put it in the trailer first. Then I take all those big pieces that you see sitting over there on the left that I've got stacked. They go on top. They always go on top. I want them on top to weight all of it down, especially when I know I'm going to be pretty well max capacity on the dump trailer, as far as like not max weight, but just what the dump trailer would hold. I didn't want to chip this because it was in such small pieces. It was pointless for me to bring the chipper up there anyhow and had to deal with trying to chip all this stuff. And you know, look at the title on the video, and that gives you an idea. I've been asked a lot about prices. Everybody wants to know about prices. How do I price these jobs? You know, the title should answer your question. Like I said, about 40 minutes was all I had in this one, and that was pretty much it. Just get the stuff, again, just wad it up best I can. And I feel pretty certain I'll probably be back to take that tree down. They wanted me to trim it, and I told them they wanted me to see if I could do it for $500, and I told them that was not realistic. That they were looking at a minimum of $1,500 to just trim it, and that trimming it was not really an option or an answer for that tree. The tree needed to come down, and they really didn't need to pay me $1,500 to trim it and then have to turn around 6 months, a year later, 2 years later, and pay to have the tree removed. I explained to them the best thing that would be to save their money till they got enough to take it down. And I told them what I would take it down for, and then do it at one whack and be done with it. Because that tree's done. Trees are like human beings. They have a lifespan. This one's lifespan is up. It's a huge liability now. You can look up in the top of it and you can see what's going on. You can see the dead limbs over there on top of the neighbor's house over there. And the rest of the trees the same way. And it's just like any other maintenance thing, like tires on your car. If you got trees in your yard, you're going to have to deal with them at some point in time. And the bigger they get, the larger they get, the more complicated area that they're in, the bigger that they are in that complicated area, the more that it's going to cost you to get that tree removed. And that's just the way it is. You don't go to the doctor with a broke bone and expect him to fix that bone for $500. You don't ask no questions. You just get it done. And that's kind of the way that the tree work is. The tree work is very, very dangerous. It's a huge liability on the tree services part to work these trees. Our insurance costs an astronomical amount of money to have, just in case we drop something on somebody's house or car or fence or anything that gets damaged. So it's not cheap. Tree work's not cheap. I'm not gonna lie. And nothing in it's cheap. And it's just one of those things. But you are better off paying a tree company to take a tree down, rather whatever it costs to get it down, rather than it hit your house. These people here have been without electricity now for over a week and 2 days as of the time this video was filmed. That's a nightmare in itself that could be prevented in some maintenance of the trees. Not saying that you need to take every tree down. You look at them and you see problems in them, rot, pieces that have broken out. You got those giant limbs that are very, very heavy. It may need to be time to do something with them or about them, And this one here has been there a long time. You can see the engine parts from a car and trees that grew around them, and there's no telling what's in the middle of that tree when you stick a saw in it either. But I'm willing to cut it if they want to take it down. So anyhow, hope you enjoyed this video. We'll catch y'all later. Later, taters. And this is it. I mean, I'm just taking the rake now and getting that last little bit, and you'll see when I hop up here toward the dump trailer and I spin around, you can see what it looks like. And you know, I never even touched none of this stuff by hand, not a stick. I picked up every little bit of it with the grapple, and I was fixing to get down and grab a hand rake because there's a little bit of stuff left right there where I was picking up from. And the guy, he walked out there and told me, he said, dude, he said, don't worry about that. He said, my lawnmower will take care of the rest of that. Look how slick that is right there. The grass come on back, you know. A lot of people ask me about grass. You know, you can't. Situations like that, you're going to track, and you're going to track it down. As long as you ain't rutting, you're fine. Because the grass is going to come back. I mean, you can't go in there and do a job like this right here where everything's messed up and not track the grass down. And everybody around here is understandable, you know, as far as that goes. But I just take the grapple and pick it all up. And a little bit I take and throw them big chunks up there on top of it, like I said. Now, had I not been able to get all of this on one load, I would end up having more time in it than I did. But I can judge it pretty quick. You say, well, what would it have been had you chipped it? Had I chipped this, it probably wouldn't even have been a half a load in a dump trailer, if that much. It probably would have been closer to a quarter of a load. Because you lose so much when you haul this stuff whole. It's just too much air in there. You can pack it down till you blue in the face and you still gonna haul air. You know, there's a lot of guys, it just takes a big trailer to move debris. You know, like what they call those hurricane trailers and stuff like that. That's the best way to move that stuff. But see, I just pick the rake back up, kind of re-rake back up a little bit of stuff, and then grab it and pick it up. And that rake's probably the best time saver thing that I ever made or built right there. So again, hope you enjoyed it.